Hines and Burton, both involved in Origin 1. Not required on Wednesday night in Melbourne. Head-to-head tonight. Look at that determination. Refreshed and ready to go. Oregon Corfusi bringing the ball back for the Sharks. The opening hit up last time they met saw Farmasili ruled out of the game for the Bulldogs. So much went on in that round 2 encounter at Shark Park in the opening 10 minutes. As McInnes coughs it up, and the Dogs get an early bonus.
I look forward to getting a bit of a pitch report. It looks beautiful. The field, and Gal spoke about how green it was. It's funny he got his hands in a funny position trying to catch the ball.
Position then, didn't he?
I wonder if there's any dual bout. We'll get to Gal and Danica soon.
Not what Fitzy wanted. First game back after the bye. 5 or 6 days off for the team and then back into business for an 8-day lead up to this one. They use Crichton as the decoy first up, and Carraz in that fullback role links up with Gerald Skelton. A try and an assist last week for Gerald on that right wing. He was in that loss against the Roosters in Gosford. So Hughes sets them up. Haywood now for Max King. Sexton organising things on the right-hand side. And they'll head that way. Haywood takes them on himself. Still 2 more plays going in this set. Sexton now left-hand side for Burton. Important tackle made by Nickera in company with Hines. So Marnie down a short side and knocked down by Kennedy for 6 more on a set restart. So it's all the Bulldogs early. Slow play the ball. Jared Sutton busy early on, the referee, waving another set restart. On a sensational run here at Accor Stadium, 5-0 as the home team here this season. King has another go. Crichton ready to go to work on that right-hand side. And they go left for Sexton. The halfback takes the line on. No Drew Hutchison tonight for the Dogs. Sexton and Burton in the halves. Hughes has another go. And it takes 4 or 5 Sharks to stop him. What do they do on the last this time? Slow service from Marnie. Kikau improvises. And it's still alive for Viliami. Kikau. Cronulla mucked it up big time, and Kikau there to pounce. The opening 3 minutes belonging to the Doggies.
That's like one of those nightmares you have when the boogeyman's chasing you and your legs don't work. The ball's on the ground. There's 2 Cronulla players with the ball in their lap. And they're both sliding on the slippery surface, looking at each other. And no one gets the ball, and the ball pops out. Harvey Norman replay. Viliami Kikau gets it, kicks him behind. Toby Rudolph. Oh, they go into each other. Is it Braden Trindle? And look at the look they give each other after he scores. Kicks through, they look at each other.
Nearly had a cuddle.
Watch them look at each other after a free. There it is.
What about the skill on the big man, Viliami Kikau? Pick the ball up off his toes, puts it on the boot, just taps it in behind the defensive line, right onto the try line. Look at that, just picked it up off his boots, beats a couple of tackles. And you got Toby Rudolph and Trindle. He goes over to score the first try. That is talent.
Now, Braden Trindle, was he defending at fullback then? Because he was back there. I'd like to know where Carraz was defending.
Burton adds the extras. Billy Kickow thought he scored the first try last time these teams met. Remember the mutual infringement? Cost him that try as the referee got in the road of Braden Trindle. This time it was Rudolph getting in the road.
Yeah. Well, I meant to say Will Kennedy, not Carraz. I wanted to go down to Gallen and see whether there has been a positional change, because it looked like Braden Trindle was behind the in goal.
We'll get to Paul Gallen in a moment. The Sharks playing catch-up here. Deep kick-off. So King has to come off the back fence. Paul Gallen, down to you.
Yeah, guys, now Will Kennedy's definitely playing at fullback. The conditions down here are pretty good. It's 11 degrees. There's a slight breeze behind the Sharkies, and the ground is looking absolutely fantastic. I can tell you now, there is plenty of dew all over it, so this ball will be very, very slippery tonight.
Hayward busy early on in that lock roll. Last 3 times he started in the lock roll, the Bulldogs have won. There's the Dragons, Knights and Eels. Burton, you want him to go torpedo bomb style, but it's more conventional, isn't it? Wants to kick to the corners, and this one might just come off. Oh, how cool was Katoa?
Just get your hands in a position and launch. Freddie, if you were coaching or playing with Burton, you'd tell him every time, launch.
Well, he was in the perfect spot then, because he's on the left-hand side. If he puts it back to the other side, you can't miss. Like, your target zone's so big, it's impossible to miss. Get your team, get down there competing. Put pressure on the fullbacks.
I'd always think, if I was the opposition fullback, what kick would I not want to catch? I would want to catch Burton's torpedo bombs.
Is there a wear and tear, hamstring awareness style when you do kick that bomb so often, or no risk?
I just think it's a conservative thing, you know, the way they play the Dogs. They do it with their defence. Get the ball down in the corner and back our tackling.
So Trindle goes end over end as well into the corner for Skelton. Plenty of traffic for Mulatalo to try and negotiate, and all above board from Crichton and Sexton, providing the blocker elements. Here's Skelton. With that background in rugby union and sevens. It's his 5th game in the big time. Carraz, who played in the fullback role with Lebanon, wants to play that role long-term in the NRL as well. And here's a handy penalty late in the count inside the 40.
Yeah, poor discipline. We saw Coach Craig Fitzgibbon in the box. He wasn't happy after the first error. To Cam McInnes, his skipper, that was a soft one. That was a soft penalty. They weren't really going anywhere there, the Bulldogs. And we saw Wednesday night in Origin 2, the way penalties or 6 to go. Who's offside here? Oh, I don't know if anyone was offside. Was it the next play? Yeah,
He called Toby Rudolph. He got 1 foot back behind him on the 5th tackle.
Under the microscope. Bulldogs will take it. Hayward for Sexton, runners in motion. Burton wanted to put Crichton through some kind of hole. And Cronulla's defence was sorted on that occasion. Big matchup for Kale Iro on that side, defending against Crichton in the centres. Remember last time Cronulla played, it was 22-0 to the Dolphins at PointsBet Stadium before Cronulla rallied in that one. Sexton, oh, great reflexes from Talakai, the milestone man.
Well, it's the first thing that's gone their way, the Sharks, with 6 to go.
What happened there? Once again.
Well, touch Crichton's hand.
There's a kick over the top on the screen. Great reaction, Talakai.
Back 5 getting involved for Cronulla, one of their trademarks. Back to that game in Canberra when they just ripped the Raiders apart. McInnes holds on this time. Here is Rudolph. Nice run on play 5. The Bulldogs on the back foot. Trindle doing all of the kicking early on.
It's a great set of defence from the Dogs. Talakai got the ball outside his own 20 and they made 37 metres of a pretty quick play of the ball and a 6 again at the start of the set. They talk about the Dogs' defence, the second best in the competition. Just churning out good numbers for 80 minutes just puts pressure on the other teams.
Starting front rowers have been busy for the Bulldogs. Max King and Sam Hughes. Burton targeting that corner. He's got some hang time in his kicks. And Katoa, confronted by Kickout, will use Kennedy. Scored a hat-trick against the Bulldogs last season, Will Kennedy. The defence has improved big time for the Dogs since then. Ranked second behind Penrith this season, conceding 16.9 points per game. These Bulldogs, even though they miss the equal most tackles. And missing those tackles doesn't negotiate to conceding a load of points.
Assuming they scramble well, they always talk about watching out for each other and having each other's back. The scramble defence is excellent.
Quick play the ball, but a nothing kick from Hines straight onto the chest of Skelton at the end of it all. Built some nice momentum there, the Sharks.
He was on the back of that Nickera's run. He played the ball super quick.
And Sherry. Missed last week with a hamstring concern, but straight back in. He's scanning the field. One out stuff from the Dogs. That 6-0 edge early on. Courtesy of the try from Kickout. And they kick it out to Katoa once more. Wilson trying to negotiate some traffic, wiped out a Shark. And it's an offside against Cronulla. Penalty, Dogs.
You can challenge if you want, mate, but I think the knock-on happens before that and has no bearing on that.
Sharks, a couple of unforced errors in the opening 11 minutes. Gal.
Very simple game plan from the Bulldogs tonight. They've run the ball pretty much one out, but just running hard, tuck on hard, waiting for an error to come. You see here, just a high ball, plenty of kick chase, and they're competing for the ball. That's what they can do the Dogs. They compete on every play, forcing an error. Now they've got good field position.
Well, it just nudged their way up the field until they could compete for a kick.
What about the nudge there from Wilson on Ramian that helped create the knock-on? He did that to the man trying to catch the footy. It's an ultimate disruptor. But Ramian, who appealed to the referee in vain. No joy. As Hughes has another go. Been tackled here a few times already tonight. Haywood for Sexton. Kickout went through the line. Plenty going on there, so Sexton happy to take the tackle. Haywood. Looking for a quick play of the ball, but Brayley slowed him down professionally with Nickera. Carras trying to get that footwork going. Still going, Jacob Carras, a real powerhouse in the fullback role with the 4 on his back. Marnie can't get that kick through the line, but it was played at, so 6 more, and it's absolute domination in terms of possession. Burton spotted a hole, and Hines makes a try saver. Took some stopping there, did Burton. Looking to make it 10 out of 10 incompletions. Marnie reaches out and puts it down with authority.
Well, 2 plays before, there's a brave pass to a flying Matt Burton. And Matt Burton was a beautiful take, took the tackle. It looked like he was going to score. This time it was Kickout pouring onto the ball. And Marnie used up him as a decoy. Here's the pass, nearly hitting the ground on the Harvey Norman replay. It looked like Burton was going to break the Hines tackle. And 2 tackles later, comes back to the same side, and he uses up Kickout. The defence didn't come off the line. There's Kickout, the blonde, the mop, dummies. slams it down. What a beautiful decoy, Viliame Kikau, 6'4". He just scored a try off a beautiful kick. Nikita comes out of the line, Hines comes out of the line.
Slams it down, doesn't he?
Oh, it was like an ad. The Yui fan cam. The Dogs fans are cheering.
I wonder what's being said behind the post there.
Almost the same blade of grass here for Matt Burton to look at the conversion. Try number 25 in the career of Reid Marnie. Burton going at 68% with the boot coming into this game. Makes it 2 out of 2. So 2 converted tries. They're chasing the clock here, the Bulldogs. Cronulla yet to get started off the back of their bye. 10-4 this season.
And sometimes you get the bye, you can lose just a bit of rhythm. It's weird. Gal.
Yeah, I spoke pre-game, boys, about the Sharks having to burn the middle of the Dogs out before they try to go wide. Well, it's the exact opposite at the moment. The Dogs are absolutely burning the Sharks' middle. It's on the back of possession. 34% of the ball, just a 65% completion rate. Not good enough for the Sharks at the moment.
Well, the Sharks' biggest strength is also their biggest weakness. They are a really big physical pack. They've got a massive bench. But if you can keep the ball off them, as I said, it's their biggest weakness. Throw in there some errors and poor discipline.
Clearly the tactic to kick to this corner. This time the fullback camped underneath it. Great chase from kick out. He missed the tackle, and that's part of the game plan.
It must be awful as a fullback. You couldn't see him, but you'd hear him.
Putting the game plan in, Spoody, to miss tackles.
Well, make sure there's backup when you do miss the tackles. Given the benefit of the doubt by the touchy on the far side, Matt Nguyen, Phil Henderson running the other line.
They've just got to totally rebuild the game here. The Sharks.
Great offload from Rudolph. Kennedy with the second phase. Looking for a spark here, the Sharkies. Nice purchase on that one from Trindle. Hang time for the chasers, but Carraz has a little bit of room here. Putting up some amazing numbers, playing in the centres and on the wing, averaging 194 run metres per game, Jacob Carraz.
Yeah, against the Roosters last week, he had some really big plays. Once again, poor discipline. Just marching the Dogs up the field. Is that 3-0, the penalties? It's 3-0. They've made 4 errors, the Sharks.
Well, 2 of them have been Toby Rudolph.
They've made 54 more tackles. We're only 17 minutes in. No wonder the coach is looking worried.
He's on the walkie-talkie. You reckon he's calling for Tommy? Trying to bring on Hazelton. Doesn't punch off the bench.
He's putting their team under pressure. The first one was a murder offside. The second was the second too long.
Well, they're inside their heads at the moment, 12-0. If they go to 18-0, it totally changes the way they have to play them, the Sharks. Then they really have to take some risks.
Well, they always look better when they're passing the ball. Their back 3 and back 5 link up really well, and then Nico gets across the field. So the game plan when played at best is quite risky.
Burton. No one running through that hole. They created a 2-on-1 on the outside of Burton, but
he missed his assignment then, Stephen Crichton. He had to punch into that gap.
Salmon sends it back the other way to Marnie at first receiver. One of the 2 try scorers in this opening stanza for the Dogs. Haywood now for Sexton. And the pass was going forward, even
Forward
if
pass
Skelton did
goes in
pick
the
it up
touch, can't be
somehow.
challenged.
So they've missed
Play
out
the ball
on
in the
another
middle.
chance to
Play the ball,
make this
boys.
lead
Play
balloon
the
here,
ball.
the Bulldogs.
Well, he had to
Front
run
foot
it
here,
then.
Matt. Billy.
The Cronulla outside backs did a
Front
great
foot,
job
don't go
in
early.
defence. They came up, they grabbed their men. Just have a look at the Cronulla defenders. He had to hit Skelton on the chest or run the ball. He was too deep into the line.
Stand now, Reed.
The Westpac red zone.
Hold. Go right.
It's not looking good for the Sharks. 18-0. That's red alert.
Accidental knee from Crichton into the sliding Katoa here. Waiting for a replay potentially.
Tackle 2, Reed.
Bunker won't be getting involved. No HIA
Come on.
yet for Sione
Hold.
Katoa. There it was, the Bulldog going back into the line, just clipping him.
Look out now, Max. Reed, hold. Go 3.
Nearly accidental.
Go in now, Sam. I'll be back.
That's a handy one for
Sam, quicker,
Cronulla.
mate.
Their first penalty late in the counts, inside the 40 just.
Just let us know about Sione there.
What do they need to do with this good ball now, Cronulla?
They need to get through the set, and they need to get a repeat set. They need to hold this momentum and field position.
Hold.
That's all right. Holding his knee. You can see the possession, 68% to the Bulldogs.
Stephen Crichton leaned on him with his knee, into his knee, and that's what he was upset about.
Well, what's happened here?
This would be a kick-out, knockout.
Yeah,
On the
knock
ground.
on
Knock on.
Bulldogs.
First knock on Billy.
So
then
6 more
Cronulla.
coming up for Cronulla.
Shot
There
clock
was no
on.
one knocked out. It was a knock
Go in the
on.
middle.
He was nearly knocked out by Nickera, you may remember, in
Make
that
sure you
round
don't
2
go early
encounter.
in
The
that.
Bunker caught up with it
All the way
about
to the back
2 or
here,
3 minutes
boys.
later
Over
and
the
sent
shot
Nickera
clock.
to the bin.
Don't get
Many
tight
thought
with
it could have been a
the
send-off offence way back then.
Well, he's already made up amends. He scored a try over the top of Nickera.
Hold there, Reed.
It's uncomfortable
Wait.
grabbing that right knee.
Oh, Brayley, it opens up. Collared by Kickout. Gave him one over the top.
Yeah,
And
I've
it's
got
just
I've
a
got
high tackle
contact
for
here,
now.
mate, up here.
He put everything into it.
Is that sweet? You just can't say sorry.
Watch him wind this up and get that.
Bang!
No sin bin for that one.
Billy.
I think might be in
Report.
strife.
Wait there, Nico.
On report for Viliami Kickout. About the only way you can take Brayley out of a game. He's got the longest current streak of games played in the NRL.
Oh, you couldn't knock on
91st consecutive game, and he's staying out there after that hit. Hines for Korfusi. And they get their first points here. Cronulla, McInnes. Oh, lovely angle. Nickera! What a try scorer he is. Kept his feet throughout.
Max.
Puts it under the black dot. And there's some afters as well, but Cronulla have their first points.
Well, it didn't take them long to slip into gear. We're just looking at the Westpac red zone. 18 tackles compared to 0 for the Sharks. They got the penalty moved down, got another one off the kick-out swinging arm. Look at the players in motion here. Players everywhere. Hines getting all the attention out the back. And on the Harvey Norman replay, he runs such a great line, Ikra. For a little back row, have a look at him squeeze through space consistently. Great leg speed. But players in motion. That's how I think of the Sharks' attack. Just players moving everywhere. Normally Nico is the one pulling the strings, Gal.
After 20 minutes, the only thing going for the Sharks was the scoreboard. The Dogs could have been in front by a whole lot more, but on the back of a little bit of ill discipline from the Dogs, they got some field position for a try. The Dogs be really disappointing that they have one opportunity, the Sharks, and they score first go, so they won't be happy. Cameron Serrato will be a little bit upset at that, I think.
Look at that strike rate with the boot this season. Phenomenal from Hines. From right in front, makes it 12-6.
wait for that clock, Matt. Time your run, fellas.
He's nearly boiled over after that try from Britton Nickera. Watch this space, I reckon, between these two. The leftovers from the round 2 encounter. Cronulla on a 6-game winning streak head-to-head against this opposition. In 12 of the past 14. Bulldogs got the head start, but Cronulla coming back. McInnes, what a lovely try assist that was as well. Setting up Nickera to come back on that trademark angle and get through the contact of kick out. Great awareness from Brayley, since the markers weren't both square. And a set restart, make it a penalty now with the ball coming loose. So momentum has switched big time here.
Was that for a flop?
Nico here, mate.
I thought it was one of those 50-50s. But once again, it's turned. Error from the Dogs and a couple of penalties. And the momentum has totally shifted.
Nero complaining about his leg being grabbed there by Crichton. That was given the all clear. And the front rowers have stayed out there, made their fair share of tackles early on, and now Rudolph off the back of Korfusi. It suggests the break is coming up soon for one, if not both. Hines, Talakai, and they were ready and waiting for him, Salmon and Sexton. McInnes for Korfusi. Doesn't score too many, 5 tries in his NRL career. Back-to-back in rounds 9 and 10 this season. Hines, left foot kick. Pretty handy, and Burton had to kick it dead in the end with Trindle lurking. I just want to clarify if there's a fingertip on it.
Just want to confirm that Braden Trindle doesn't get to the ball here.
Well, Trindle lost his feet. Burton held his nerve. He could have watched the ball go over the dead ball line. Nick Howe went back off his right foot, kicked it off his left. Somehow found some space. And there's Trindle losing his feet. Does he get a touch to it? No, Burton.
It's a clean run to the ball, and then the ball is then knocked dead by the Bulldogs. We have a decision.
Have your pants pulled down. Yeah, Trindle's going to reach out, isn't he?
Geez, they know where the ball is, don't they? Like when they're saving tries or scoring, they just know where the ball is.
No escort, super, stay behind it.
Great skill by Hines to find that gap on his non-preferred.
Time your run.
It was a very near thing.
That was very close, Freddie.
Kick gets it easy.
Burton goes short, hasn't got the required purchase, but the bounce might work. It does. Knocked on by Cronulla, was it, at the end of it all? That's one of those haphazard
moments. Just say play on, Jared. Just say play on. No one knows. No one knows what happened then.
Yeah. That rule will change next year, surely.
That was the Dogs' breakfast.
Make it a live ball for the receiving team. As soon as it comes off that boot, we won't have that Mexican standoff waiting for the bounce. Hines for McInnes. Tried to poke his head through a hole that wasn't there. Williams is on. Fresh legs in the forward pack. There'll be no frills from Jack.
I don't think the centres have touched the ball.
Brayley. And they're trying to get Talakai. They're trying his 100th. Had a couple of goes now. Keeping it in the middle again for Nickera. Ball comes loose this time.
You're right, Freddie. I'd like to be a centre. You never get the ball.
They haven't touched the ball.
Run from dummy half.
Yep, all clear.
It's a definite game plan, because I'd say Cronulla centres out of any centre in the competition get the ball as much as anyone. But it's an obvious plan to go through the Dogs.
Origin 2 was a good advert for using the centres to devastating effect. Crichton on one side, Trell on the other.
Yeah, not bad players.
Yeah, just get the
strike there. Just on Stephen Crichton.
Form up, boys. Get the heads in, Reed.
Get the heads in.
5 seconds.
Thursday morning in Melbourne, he was seen at the gym downstairs at 5 a.m, 5:30. Training, rehabbing, getting his body right.
You talk about leaders and what you're doing on and off the field. He walks in, his first impression every day, he's just positive, he's upbeat, he does everything possible, like you said, stretches, whatever he can do to get himself in the best shape, he's doing it.
Captain of the club at 23 years of age in his first season with the Bulldogs after all that success with Penrith. Josh Curran is on. Trademark headgear. Burton nearly through. Trademark tackle from McInnes right around the bootlaces. Stopped him getting away. Sexton from just outside the 40. Under the chest of Kennedy. Good competitive game now. After the Sharks were slow out of the blocks, and here comes Tommy. Hazelton with fresh legs.
All you old ball blokes love Tommy, don't you? I've just worked it out. I've just looked at you, saw the nude nut, and I'm going, yep, I get it now.
Bring out the posters, Tommy.
Gives everyone hope. Middle-aged blokes with no hair.
The nude nut.
Oh, Hines wanted an option. He wanted a centre running off his shoulder, but it was Mulatalo outside him who hit the deck. They were nearly away again there, Cronulla. Brayley to go back to Trindle. Not the purchase he was after, but it still might work. Ricochets off Skelton. Knocked on by Cronulla first.
Knocked on, hand over.
Yeah, Ronaldo got down there, he got a piece of it.
Play the ball,
That's
sorry,
the main
hand over
thing.
there.
Skelton know next time he comes down, he'll be there again.
They're challenging it.
Nice blindside
Challenging
raid.
ruling that they knock on. I believe there's a Dogs knock on before that.
It's been a challenge by a winger.
Yeah, Mulatalo.
I'm a bit nervous.
A confident winger.
Kick chase has been cleared.
Oh,
It's simultaneous.
Just need to determine who the ball touches here.
I think Mulatalo misses it.
Any touch would have gone forward.
I think it's a touch for sure.
Looks pretty ominous for Ronnie. He's seen
We
it too on
acknowledge
the
the
big
ball
screen.
definitely touches Ronaldo. We just need to see if it comes off the Bulldogs as well.
Need to check side on, but I think that's going forward off Mulatalo, isn't it? Gal, down to you.
Can anyone see Skelton's left hand? It's hit Skelton's left hand. I could see it from here.
No
It's hit
bias at all
Skelton's
with
left
Paul
hand.
Gallen.
Have a look at Skelton's left hand. How does it not hit it? There, right there.
Because it
his
hits
left hand, goes
Ronaldo's
forward.
first
Ball
Gal.
misses the
Ronaldo
hands of the
knocks the ball
Bulldogs
back.
player. It's backwards off Ronaldo playing on at this
Thank
point.
you very much. Hashtag winning.
Got a good screen there, sideline, Gal.
The ball is then knocked on by the Sharks on the ground. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Gal, hashtag losing.
Losing.
Oh my God, did he not say Skelton touched it?
No,
Say
he
that?
said Mulatalo
Yeah,
touched
play the
it.
ball.
Mate, Skelton's left hand touched the
Nico.
ball.
Hashtag
They're watching these blokes.
Losing.
Hashtag silly. Oh, that was
Hold me up.
terrible. God, that's a bad call.
I think the contest was deemed all okay. It was the knock-on that came subsequently from Cronulla that's cost them that captain's challenge. I think Ronnie was fine.
Hashtag losing.
Sense of
Yeah, you
shots.
got me. You got me. I'll cop that one.
That might wind up on social media, I reckon, Gal.
I'm only saying because it's not me. That's all you need.
Sonny's in the background bagging you too.
It's not standard.
Bulldogs dodged a bullet there. And Sexton goes to that same corner. Kennedy ready and waiting on that angle now. Knows where it's going. And Burton leads the chase this time. Ramian did well to adjust. He'd overrun Hines. One more look at it. I think wasn't that a knock-on against Skelton if he got some kind of touch? That's the knock-on they pinged eventually in the bunker where Adam G is at the controls. Interesting one.
They're very disciplined with their football, the Dogs. As soon as they get a lucky break down their end, the Cronulla back three catching the ball 10 metres out from their line in their right-hand corner. Just copy and paste.
Here's Wilson, the hero on the right wing, wasn't he, against Parramatta at this venue?
He's a good finisher. There's a half chance he nails it. Really good footwork.
Playing outside of Sherry on the left side now. And Skelton outside of Crichton. Jamin Salmon, who started out as a ball-playing lock this season, finding a home on that right edge. And here's Curtis Morin off the bench. Playing around 25 or 30 minutes.
Great kick.
Did Salmon start with headgear?
Yeah, in this game.
I don't think I've ever seen a team with as much headgear.
There's Marnie in the headgear, and Curran off the back of it as well.
Yeah,
all
orange
kinds of headgear out there. You recommend it to the kids?
If it makes you feel good, gives you confidence.
That's the half-hour mark. Royce Hunt. He's playing between 12 or 27 minutes a game with his efforts off the bench.
It's a good time to bring him on now. 10 minutes to go, 40-20.
Oh, yes! It wasn't going to be a 40-20, I don't think, but Carraz
Look at that.
felt like he was forced to play at it.
Look at that face.
Nico,
As good as a 40-20 from Braden Trindle. Are we giving that one to Umido, or is it just a mistake by Carraz? Inside the 40, where's this one cross? I don't think it was going to be a 40-20, but for Carraz's involvement. Nico Hines has had his fair share of 40-20s this season. Trindle did the work that time, and he was there supporting Nickera.
Once again, playing short.
Hunt trying to crash over the top of them. Royce Hunt, look at the desperation from the Dogs. Kickout's intervention was required, I think.
No try.
What an amazing
effort. That Royce Hunt held up, mate.
He was going to score for all money.
Tackle 3 with Royce.
Is it Moran makes the initial contact? And Reid Marnie, he comes in, and then kick out late. He's about to get the ball down. They get the hands. There's no chance.
Well, it took 5 of them.
He scored with his first touch last week, Royce Hunt, to help launch the comeback. Or a couple
Based
of weeks
on the
ago
front angle and then this side-on angle, the ball always remains up.
This has
It'll be
been
tackle 3. We have a decision.
The backbone of the Dogs footy this year and why they're sitting in the top 8. They're sitting on 18 with 5 other teams, but their for and against is far superior.
Hold. Go 3.
Scramble defence on full display. Hazelton just the settler in front of that left-hand upright. For the halves to go to work here. Trindle back on the angle. Mulatalo. Now Iro, the centre on that side, can't get a touch. What's the call there? Knock on Cronulla. And the Bulldogs celebrating another mini victory here.
Jamin, away.
They work so hard defensively, in and around the ball. This time they changed the point of attack, changed direction, coming back through the middle with Ronaldo. Now look at the pressure from the inside. They're all sprinting across. Really hard working. Do what they are. They look fit, the Bulldogs. You can see they've had a huge off-season.
Pretty much the first contribution from Lipoy Hopoy off the bench, and the number 17 jumper. I think he's the one that created that lost ball. It's his 4th game in first grade.
Sherry, probably his first touch, isn't it?
He's had one other, I think, from memory. Wilson with some tough meters up the middle.
Fascinated with all the headgear.
There they are. Potential for back-to-back players wearing headgear to get involved. Freddie was up out of his seat. Salmon didn't go to Crichton, let him down, but now headgear to headgear. And on to kick out. Oh, Sherry did well. Juggled it 3 or 4 times. Avoided the knock-on. Kickout gets into dummy half, says to Burton, you better kick, son. And he goes with a spiral torpedo.
On the other side of the ruck, when he's under pressure and he...
Play the ball, Sharks.
Honestly, am I watching? He's on the wrong side of the ruck for a left footer. He's under all sorts of pressure and he pulls out the torp there. Look, gets into position late. He's getting... and nails it. Matt! On the other side of the ruck, on the other side of the field. And look at that one. That was impossible to hit it there. His angles were all wrong. He was under pressure. He still nailed it.
What about the game awareness from kick out? To get into dummy half where Burton was ready to pick it up. He gave his kicker some depth. He's been switched on from the start. Viliami kick out. Number 1 in the comp for charge downs as well. He's got 5. Next best has 2. Look out for that potentially in the second half maybe.
So one thing with all those Penrith boys, they're all so clear, all the players that come through there, the players out there.
Oh, lovely pass from Hines. Ramey and on to Katoa. He got rid of Burton. Moving well. Katoa, after that injury concern, stayed away from that sideline in the greasy conditions. Hines for Tommy. Hazelton. Oh. He was trying to spin. Burton did well. Hines heavily involved in this set for Trindle. Halves combined. Oh, great defence. Skelton stopped Mulatalo in his tracks.
What a tackle. Last week against the Roosters, I think it was on Ponga. Yep. He absolutely folded him in half. It was one of the great tackles. And there he just put his body on the line. What's this for a tackle? Ronaldo. You know how powerful he is. Look at that. Whack. Is he from a rugby union background?
Yeah, sevens and the 15-a-side game.
And he tackles like that? His cousins of Will Skeleton. He's the captain of the Wallabies, Will Skeleton.
He was the captain in the World Cup.
He's a big unit too. Geez, that's a tackle and a half.
Yeah, he put the hit on Ponga last week, and then Ponga tried something similar. It didn't come off. Ponga was sent off and serving a big ban. And that's why Connor Tracy is ruled out with concussion for this game. That's why they had to reshuffle things. But Connor Tracy from the Sharks, of course, has been helping Serraldo with the game plan all week on a breakdown Cronulla, and looks like it's working so far.
Well, Connor Tracy got sin bin against the Knights. And it was Carraz that went back to fullback, and he was fantastic. You can tell he's relishing the running, the freedom. Such a good player.
6 more.
That's how the game started, with the Bulldogs getting a lot of possession, penalties and 6 agains. What can they do with this one with half-time approaching? Oh, no looker attempted by Crichton. It hit Burton and knocked down by Cronulla, so will remain Canterbury ball.
Everybody up.
See that
shot clock on. On the shot clock here, boys.
I love this play, but when it's done at speed, with the centre comes back under and changes direction, and then around the post, let him skip back to around the post, and you have players punching it in and out of holes, back against forwards.
Three. Make sure you three. Make sure you're fully packed. Get in, Will. Shot clock off. Three.
Marnie mocked that scrum. Fired it out to Sherry. Organising themselves for a pet play later in this set, the Bulldogs. Depth on that right-hand side. Flat on the left. They go to Burton for kick out. Lead runner was Sherry. Would have been interesting if they scored off that. Don't have to worry about it now. Marnie taking the line on. Hunt slid into action.
Well, they're back in position again on the left.
They go right for Sexton. Lead runner is Salmon, and nothing doing there. They'll kick again from Marnie. Well-positioned Hines. And the referee happy with what went on off the ball there between Nickera. And was it Burton who went down? Still in a crumpled heap. Wind knocked out of Burto.
Yeah, one of the traits the coaching staff and the players have brought from Penrith was that ability to reload. The moment Kikau got tackled, one tackle later he was back in position, ready to attack again. Just putting pressure on the opposition at every opportunity.
Hines from just outside his own 30. Caresses the kick down to Wilson. Run away from Carraz in the end. It was Blake Taft that was named And the number 1 is on the bench. With Carraz playing that fullback role tonight. Connor Tracy out for the 1 week. Alongside Drew Hutchison. There's some big names in that shot. With Mann absent as well. And Burton not taken out illegally. So one last crack here for Cronulla. Should get 2 or 3 plays.
There was 30 seconds to go. Whether they get close enough to have an actual shot, or will Hines be settled with a possible 40-metre field goal?
Have to be a 1-point field goal now for Hines, who kicked one in the 25-6 win.
Oh, here he is.
Oh, he's taken it all the way back for a shot at 2, but Curran saw that coming. And no one really chasing this kick from Nico. Now the siren will sound. And that lead built early by the Bulldogs still has them in front by 1 converted try. At the break, it's the Bulldogs 12, Cronulla 6. 7 players wearing headgear for the Bulldogs, Freddie. You think it might be a record?
I think it's a record. I'd like someone there to show me differently.
Away we go, second half. 12-6 lead for the Bulldogs. Had to go searching for Moran. And the welcoming committee led by Tommy. Hazelton alongside Nickera. A good start from Cronulla to make the first 2 tackles here, near enough to the 10-metre line. Given a rev up by Craig Fitzgibbon at half-time. There's Lipoi Hopoi. Played just 76 minutes total in the NRL in his first 3 appearances off the bench. Carraz does everything at speed. Slowed down by Hunt. Burton will kind of kick this time. Just driving it down end over end to Will Kennedy in that corner. It's the most room he's had to move pretty much all game. Great tackling by Moran and kick out.
Well, both team tactics have been very obvious, I feel. The only thing that's let them both down is discipline. And it's allowed the other team into their red zone. So I'm thinking whoever's got the best discipline the second half wins the game.
So much on the line for both teams. Bulldogs started today 7-7. Cronulla 10-4. Win this and they'll be joint top of the ladder. Oh, Hazelton tried the short ball and missed the assignment. Ball hit the deck.
Well, he premeditated. He was going to pass even before he got the ball. You've got to wait for the defence and react to the defence, Tommy. Can't premeditate.
188 centimetres, 103 kilos. Lipoi Hopoi, big presence in the middle. Mistake from the Bulldogs. And Josh Curran keen to debate it here.
Well, we talk about how slippery it is, how dewy. You watch Carraz here, he has a little smile. He goes to pass a double pump and it just slips straight out of his hands.
That was deemed to have gone forward, so they can't challenge. Curran picked it up spectacularly off the bootlaces.
We've seen the Roosters the last half a dozen games when it's during this cold weather where it gets so dewy. The short kicking game of Sam Walker, when you're attacking the line, that's where you got to get your tries. So hard to move the ball laterally on these dewy nights.
Look where the Bulldogs are on a live ladder, up to 5th, only behind the Roosters on 4 and against. They lost to the Roosters last week in Gosford. It's so tight. Positions 4 down to 8th and beyond. So many contenders for those bottom 4 spots in the top 8. Brayley, the Trindle going sideways, linking up with Williams. Moran making his tackle stick off the bench. Trindle, the chasers have momentum here. Ramian searching for the footy, and Wilson found it above him.
What a great take. Actually went up and he got it wrong and he actually caught the ball behind him.
Maybe a little bit of a juggle as well.
She goes up and that's a reach back for it. Great take.
Bulldogs screaming for a penalty. Nothing doing there. Wilson got involved once more.
He looks a real player still. too closely last week. Actually really strong when he runs. He always finds his front.
A little bit higher this time, did Burton.
Once again.
Oh, Katoa
Kennedy!
finds Kennedy at speed, weaves a passage. What a return this is. Still going, Kennedy. Curran has a go. And drags him down inside the 40. Does that turn this game? Great awareness by Katoa to find him. He's found him again by default.
He's gone.
Tapping out.
So now Trindle. Hero, the centre on this side, still can't get the footy. They've used Mulatalo as the option inside of Dale Hero more often than not when they do come to that side.
Jesse Raymond, I think he's touched the ball once.
The centres have their say at some stage. Set up here for Royce Hunt. It's called forward, presumably, by the touch judge, Matt Noyan.
If you're passing inside as a half on this angle, you really got to turn your body right around, or you got to straighten up. Which it was the pass to William Kennedy. It's about 3 or 4 players. Great balance, Kennedy.
Remember that try against Parramatta he scored?
Yeah, Nico, and his chest towards the corner post. You really got to square up your hips and turn the body right around.
It was a big avenue for Hunt to go through if that pass was legal. Very near thing for Cronulla. Still chasing this game. Go forward hasn't really been there for the Bulldogs since half-time, Freddie. Is that a worrying sign for them?
I think also the Sharks have been finishing their sets further down the field. A nice offload.
For Burton to go to work. Oh, he puts the head down. Look at him go, Matt Burton, when he spots a little bit of room. Terrific run.
Wow, yeah, the afterburners on there.
And now off the back of it, they go to Crichton. Strike player on the right-hand side. He was in all kinds of minds there. Stephen Crichton lost the footy.
Once again, the slippery surface, slippery ball.
Challenge.
I'm going to challenge this one.
Presumably, he thinks it's been stripped out.
Bulldogs challenging the ruling of a lost ball by Stephen Crichton.
Well, he still lost it forward. Because if the Sharks pulled it out, he's pulled it out towards his own goal line.
Braden's left arm locks onto the ball. He then pulls away with a stripping action. The challenge is successful.
He's the captain, and he's nailed the captain's challenge. 2 in the tackle. Trindle reefing at the footy. That's the adjudication from Adam G. Sexton we see in this tackle, placed on report for that by the bunker. Crusher element. That's why Trindle was complaining to the touch. He should have been a penalty. So a terrific captain's challenge by Crichton. Gives them this field position. Marnie caught by Williams from marker. Salmon has to help out. Oh boy. 5 metres out. Marnie for Salmon. Through the big dummy, and the gap nearly opened up for Jamin, the former Panther. Had to search for that one, did Marnie. Sexton. Still going, Toby Sexton. So the halfback out of play here on the last. Burton's a long way away. So they go to the fullback, Carraz, and will have to hand it over in that corner.
Well, you couldn't have fit another player in that 10-metre corridor in the field.
There was only 5 defenders there on 2 attackers.
Like, seriously.
I think that's what you call, Freddie, not eyes up footy.
Did you want Burton to come closer to the action there with Sexton out of play?
Well, with these conditions, I spoke about it with Sam Walker before with the Roosters. It's so hard to move the ball laterally quickly with this slippery ball, slippery surface. And the opposition has one marker, they put the fullback in the line, so mathematically it's so hard to get an overlap. That's why the short kicks are so important on nights like these. They had to find a kick. Go to Burton. Put it up in the air.
Burton was actually on the 20-metre line, about 35 metres away from where that ball was being played. He wasn't going to receive it with the first pass, maybe the second. He went short side for Carraz, and now the penalty.
Well, here's a chance for an attacking set. Be interesting if one of their centres touches the ball this set.
Watching out for that. They go to Ramey inside, but it stops with Hunt.
Up together.
Here comes Nico Hines. Trindle. Talakai trying to bust them open. Sexton again doing his defensive job, but they're rolling off the back of it here. Hazelton plays it on the last, quick enough. Behind. Nickera flips it out the back, latched onto by Salmon.
No.
Well, the pass was never on.
They just keep trying to squeeze that pass. They're yet to go out the back, the Sharks. The centres still haven't touched the ball. He flicks the ball backwards. Nickera hits the head of Burton.
That will delight the coach, the way Salmon got to that loose ball.
Yeah. Was it Salmon or Burton?
Salmon.
You sure?
Yeah. Gal?
Yeah, both teams have obviously a clear intention of trying to go through the opposition, but when you're down the attacking zone, I don't see why a high bomb to the corner. That put a bit of competition in play, and maybe let someone try and catch a ball.
Sherry not letting Kennedy get away this time. Tackled him around the head. So half an hour to go. Low scoring encounter so far. That Bulldogs defence standing up again. Plenty of time for the Sharks though.
That was well timed by Mulatalo.
He's such a good player.
Just got on the advantage line, got behind the markers.
He is one of the best wingers. He's like an extra front row. He gets the sets rolling.
10 tries this season and 6 try assists as well from Ronnie. Trindle goes high. Again, there'll be no pressure. Skelton able to wind up and target Brayley.
He's a big, strong tearaway.
Welcome back, Teague Wilton. First appearance since round 13. He picked up that shoulder injury against Parramatta.
Well, someone's got to break out. Both teams are playing really conservative dour footy. We saw an offload before that got Burton away. Freddie spoke about the centres have hardly touched the ball.
Marnie.
Oh, his own player got in the road. He kicked his own player. It was Toby Sexton.
He had 4 40-20s last year, was eyeing up his first of this year, and his teammate got in the road.
He dead set kicked it. He kicked his own player in the calf. Is it a full moon out there, or are the players, they all New South Wales fans and celebrated Wednesday night? That was weird.
One out from Tommy. Hines has been so close to finding the right pass for the Sharks. Ramey had touched it, and what a touch it was for Katoa. Oh, it got dragged over the try line. And Cronulla have their second.
Hashtag, get the ball to Jesse.
Hashtag try assist. That's the second time he's touched the ball. And a great finish by Katoa. Little short side raid. Players in motion. This time they go to the line. Harvey Norman replay. They don't play short. They play out the back. 2-on-1. Catch and pass. And then Katoa. That's again, he gets thrown in the grandstand. Gets it down.
So Katoa, 9 in 7 against the Bulldogs, 11 tries this year. Dragged over the line by Sherry. And Carraz didn't come and lend a hand, he just watched. Great put down in the end.
Well, he just assumed he was going to get the ball at the 20-metre mark and take a tab. He thought Katoa was going into the sponsors boards.
Hines hooking it and missing.
For that clock, Matt. Time your run here, boys.
So a 2-point lead after the try from Katoa goes unconverted by Nicho Hines. He's only missed 5 shots this season. That's 2 in a row from the right-hand touchline. Remember, he had the chance to send it to Golden Point against the Dolphins.
Oh, that was right.
And put it out to the right-hand upright down at Shark Park.
There's a lot of weight on that kick. every single person sitting there was feeling for Nicho. It was a huge moment. It was more than 2 points.
Here's Wilton. Might just get that spot back on the left edge next week. Teague Wilton with the Sharks up in Coffs Harbour against the Titans.
He's a good player too.
He bossed the game between these two in round 2. He's playing outside of Talakai, has shifted a bit further in now with his versatility. Mulatalo, he had a look at it.
Wow, what a take.
Carraz over the top of Ronnie, who's capable of going over the top of anyone.
He owned that one, Carraz. He demanded that ball. Have a look at this. Up.
They're winning the battle of the moment, the Sharks, the field position. They're challenging for their kicks. Burton's gone for a spread.
Sherry having a go up the middle, hoping they might find some tired forwards. No joy just yet. Burton from inside the 40, tight angle here. And won't get the 40-20, but turns Cronulla around.
Great kick. You've got to back this up with a really strong defensive set. They should get the ball coming back on there around their own 40. And the defence strong here, the Bulldogs.
Lions had to go searching for an option. McInnes put his hand up. Flat service for Trindle. Hero gets a touch and beats a tackle, gets the offload. So the centre's coming into the game for Cronulla.
His fantasy points just went through the roof.
Quadrupled. Wilton with those fresh legs. 12 straight games on the left edge before picking up that injury against Parrott. Mulatalo, it's a half-hearted the way he's contended those last 2 high balls.
He got the left hand out of that one. I'm not sure if he knew where the ball was. Just getting in the road of Carraz.
Skelton sent backwards there.
Third tackle, they're inside their 10 metres.
Next error is huge in this game.
Great defence, Cronulla muscling up here. Come all the way back from 12-0 down to 12-10. Right on their 20, 2 more plays left. Does Burton unleash a spiral? Gets into position here.
Good play of the ball.
Just punches it end over end into that corner. Katoa. It's a run that looks to be an element of fatigue about it.
He had lead boots on that one. There's some real fatigue in this game.
I think he's done that run 30 times already.
It does have an effect when you target the same winger throughout the 80 minutes.
He's had 30 of those runs out of that corner.
But he is a try scorer again in this game.
Who's going to break this game open, Freddie?
Well, I feel like the Sharks are in more control at the moment. Nice offload. They're winning the field position. No one's got further enough down the field to actually have a crack at the line with us and test their short kicking game.
Hines out of play. It'll be up to Trindle to take over centre field. He kicks to that corner. Does Ronnie have a go this time against Carraz? Oh, great take again.
That's 3 in a row.
Putting his hand up for that fullback role long term. Paul Gallen.
Yeah, guys, plenty of fatigue starting to get into this game. Fatigue alert. There's been more than 4 minutes continuous play. The next error or penalty in this game is absolutely crucial.
Well, for the Dogs, I think it's got to be an offload. I don't think tonight I haven't seen Toby Sexton pass the ball to Matt Burton once tonight. So it's got to come off an offload, one of the big men, and one of the shifts off the offload. Someone has got to take control from both teams and take a risk, do something, an early shift. So at the moment, it's just an arm wrestle which has gone on for nearly 60 minutes.
Kick out flying out of the line again.
Just doing as he's told, Spurdy, missing tackles.
All part of the plan. Flat ball pinged.
There's the error.
The touchy is not having any kind of forward pass on his watch. It was sloppy by Trindle, he knows it.
Well, he thought about it too much. He was initially going behind. And that was definitely the play.
Look where he's facing, Freddie, when he passes the ball. Look where he's facing the sideline.
Look if he goes out the back. Look at Mulatalo.
Well done, Matt Noyen, the touchy. That's his role, to keep an eye on the forward passes, and he's pinged a couple in this half already. Now he's keeping Cronulla back to 10. And they'll go towards Burton. Not much adventure there from the centre field scrum. Conservative game plan on both sides. Who comes out on top with 20 to go?
Well, so far, the Canterbury tries have come from a dummy half run and then a kick from kick out.
Here they go, Burton. Trying to open them up with the dummy. Slow play the ball, Hines, ping, set restart. Front rowers that started the game are back on, but a mistake has been spotted here. Another forward pass.
Everybody up.
Yeah, good defence from the Sharks. Got up in his face.
Shot clock, fellas, we're in the middle.
He didn't have much time to adjust to get the ball in a strong position. You just see him feeling the ball into his body. Nice contact from Teague Wilden.
Knock on spotted, not a forward pass. There was a forward pass involved. Westpac red zone. There's been plenty of activity inside the 20s.
Levelling up, it was 18-zip at one stage to the Bulldogs. 33-21. Gal.
Yeah, boys, you spoke about before the Dogs' tries. I just wonder at the back end of this game where the Dogs' tries come from. The Sharks can just complete their sets, get down the other end. I feel like they got a lot more attack in them than what the Dogs do.
Well, who's the player for the Sharks, Gal? Who's going to create?
Well, I think Nico Hines is obviously the key one, and Will Kennedy. Will Kennedy with a beautiful tip on there. Now on to Nico, but I think between them couple of guys, they can come up with something. And obviously, if they move it wide, they've moved to the right-hand side of the field twice for 2 results. Got to go there again, I think.
Brayley and Hines heavily involved in this set. And they go to Trindle. Mulatalo has time to get there and jump. And wrapping up the footy. Oh, Trindle in the corner. Is that a try? Referee likes it, I think, and Cronulla lead for the first time in the ballgame.
Well, just like King, he was just trying to get the ball, get some control into his body. And I think he might have just before he touched the ground. This is the 20th time Braden Trindle's kicked to that side of the field. Here's the earlier break. It was Cam McInnes and Nico Hines combining. And Harvey Norman replay, copy and paste. This time Mulatalo gets it. Jacob Carraz holds back.
He's kicked it.
A little grubber. I don't know why Carraz didn't attack this.
Well, the last 3, he's gone up and owned it.
And it's been
This
exactly
time
the
he's just
same
sat
kick.
back. Does he get the ball down on his foot?
For sure.
Yeah, he does.
Brilliant.
And then Trindle, yeah, he stays in.
Ooh.
And that's a try.
You just see the ball bobbling around his hand.
Try confirmed.
Try confirmed.
Try assist number 7 for Ronaldo Mulatalo, and he won't have any better than that. He was in a straitjacket, and he managed to get the kick away.
Yeah.
Skelton had him all wrapped up.
They're very uncomfortable, those things. Let me tell you.
And Crichton had a slap at the footy. Didn't create the knock on. Gal, it's happened for Cronulla.
Yeah, it sure has, and that's a result for absolute consistency. They've been this side of the field multiple times tonight, plenty of times, and every single time Ronaldo Mulatalo has been there. If he hasn't competed for it, he's made the tackle. That time he competed for it, got the ball, put a beautiful kick over to the left-hand side of the field for Tricky. Young Tricky comes through, scores a try in the corner.
On track, Cronulla, for their 5th win this season after being behind at half-time. They made of the right stuff when you're doing that.
In or out, Freddie?
I'm backing him in. This is his favourite side.
Favourite side.
Cheers to hook this one back from outside that right hand uprights. Bending a lot. Waved away.
Waiting.
So the try from Trindle in the corner. 10th game of the year for him. That little breakaway. It looks so much better when they got Hines and Trindle in the halves. His kick set it up for Mulatalo. And beware the second kick as Trindle scored. 3 tries in a row for Cronulla as they've come from behind again. Hit the front against the Dolphins from 22-0 down. And then that game swung again late as Hammer went 95.
Wasn't it incredible, that game?
Yeah.
That was incredible.
His shoulder's not too bad. It's only mild AC. MSO.
So he'll be right for game 3?
Yeah, I understand he's going to be right for going through.
Any changes, do you think?
I think Cobbo may come. Once again, they've let the ball.
Oh, stop it.
Not into touch.
Jump from the line.
I think Cobbo may come into
So
right
he's already
centre.
out. Play the ball.
Someone
Yeah, you go to the
to
middle.
stop
Play
the
the
threat
ball.
of Latrell and Angus Crichton on that
Play the ball, boys.
left side for New South Wales.
What a game that would be. Latrell up against Cobbo.
Mulatalo into touch a couple of times there, unable to create the miracle. The 2024 NRL Telstra Premiership season has been one of the best in recent memory. Be there live to witness your team vying for glory in the world's most exciting competition. To secure your seats to any game, head to nrl.com/tickets. Countdown is on to finals. Can the Bulldogs get there for the first time in a long time? 2016, the last time they played finals.
They're on the improve, the Dogs. Recruited the right characters in the off-season. This guy, he's been a really good buy. Jamin Salmon, Kurt Mann, Josh Curran, these players, they just compete. They're tough, they train hard.
Well, they're going nowhere, the Dogs. Have a look at this. Look at that line. They believe in their system. They believe in the tactics. And they just keep fighting.
Ramian. Oh, awkward looking tackle for Marnie getting down low. No damage done. Headgear helped protect him. Hines moving it on to McInnes. Jack Williams was hunting a gap. Look at Kafusi put a little bit of footwork on. They're making meters a lot easier, Cronulla. That 2-point margin in their favour now. Sliding into action, Blake Taff. So he's come off the bench with the number 1 on his back and into the fullback role, it appears.
So who went off?
Carraz is back in the centres. He's still out there.
Well, Sherry's out there.
Sherry's still there.
Wilson's
Blake
still
Wilson.
there. Yeah, Skelton's off. There he is. He's a real player, Skelton.
So Carraz now on the right wing outside of Crichton. He talked about who's going to do it for Cronulla when they were behind. Who's going to do it for the Dogs?
Well, that's where they'll go.
Well, it's got to be the left side there. Burton and kick out. And those two players try to create some room and get kick out one-on-one with Nico Hines. Generate an offload or something. Could play the ball, brings Bronson Cherry into play.
It's funny how you'd have to adjust, or you do adjust on the way.
There's
The Bulldogs. Listening from 6th to 7th. Manly with the 19. That'll be a bit of a bugbear for a lot of teams coming into the semi-finals.
Sharks will be joint top on points with Melbourne. That's what's on the line for them as Hines had time to juggle it. McInnes keeps those legs rolling. Short side for Hines. Ramian will chase. And Jesse comes down with it. Nickera trying to improvise, and this time they wrap up the footy.
Hashtag. What's the hashtag?
Give it to Jesse.
Give it to Jesse.
Time off. Time off. Go. Go.
I reckon before the game, the Dogs would think you might get a try out of Crichton over the top of Iro. But Stephen, actually feeling the effects of Wednesday, hasn't been that involved.
And they're appealing for a crusher here.
Got him surrendering in a
Blake
tackle,
Wilson.
mate.
Gal.
Yeah, I think you're right, Freddie. I've just missed that.
Well, it's a crusher, but
It's a crush tackle.
I
But
don't know what he's supposed to do.
But we saw one in the first half. I think it was on Trindle. Trindle got up and just played the ball, and the play gets put in a report for it a minute or two later. So he's laid down here, and no doubt he'll get a penalty. This is what annoys me, what Cameron Swift talks about. If the player's going to lay down like this, they should have to come up for a HIA.
But this one here, it's a bad one. But Wilson contributes because the trend in the game to hit and then they turn, and he gets himself into that position. When did this all start?
I think once you get yourself in that position,
Here's the one in the first half. But then once again, it's the trend of they hit and then they turn it and turn their back and back into the defence.
Yeah, Jared Sutton had said that Blake Wilson was surrendering there.
Yeah, it's a surrender tackle. If you start backing in, it's a surrender. You get a 6-second play of the ball. That'll stop the players coming down on their neck. Just allow them to get to the ground and just lie all over them, because half the time it's the runners getting themselves in that position.
So Wilson getting back to his feet, that's a good sign. Hopefully no long-term damage done there to the neck region. He won't be going off for an HIA, it appears.
Well, they've needed this. Great touch finder. I'll start on the halfway. Let's see some attack from the Bulldogs. The left side for me. Kick out. Burton kick out. Sherry.
Hayward back on. Sexton and Taff with fresh legs in that fullback role. 8th appearance of the year for him. Started the season in the #1 role. Then Connor Tracy took over. Should be right next week, Connor, for the game against the Warriors here. Oh, it's opened up. Oh, what a tackle, Hines. It looked like Kiko was into open pastures.
Yeah, great tackle, double defended, and got his man. Great defence.
Hayward, Sexton. Delayed pass for Crichton. Pass behind Carraz. And the Sharks scramble. Wilton slowed him down. It was going to be the last, but it's a set restart. So Curran can set them up. Milton could have afforded to let him go, I think. He held on. Shorts came down. Jared Sutton wasn't having it. Marnie. The King. A set-up play. Sexton organising his attack on the left-hand side. Here goes the number 7 for kick-out. Almost stumble as he approached the line.
Well, they wasted a tackle in there somewhere.
2 more left. Going to waste another one. King trying to find his fronts for a quickish play of the ball. Sexton right-hand side. Oh, Curran! Not quite. Well done, Kennedy. That's all he had to do, get a touch on it to make the knock-on against Curran.
Well, the problem with that attack is you're not making the defence work. You're not putting any fatigue in it. You're not asking any questions. When you come up for your big play, there's energy. There's players who haven't done anything for the last minute. Sexton goes to the line, puts the grubber in. Curran gets his hands to it. Kennedy comes across and spoils, and Mulatalo retrieves. You've got to ask questions.
It's a double knock-on, isn't it? Kennedy touches the footy and maybe a restart another way. Doesn't matter now. There's Cronulla flinging out the back. They've got the 2-point lead, but you wouldn't know it with a play like that.
Sam Hughes, he was down a back play, holding a knee. Now he's back in the line.
Rudolph out to the 30, so tough meters on that set for Cronulla. Pressure on the kick from Trindle. And Carraz in that wing roll now. Will use his fullback. And Taff cut down by Nickera. Game coming to a thrilling conclusion here in the final 10. War of attrition tonight. Wilson's recovered okay as his neck gets another little rub from Nickera. Run by Carraz, picks up 10 metres, takes them into enemy territory, but 2 more plays left. Sexton had to search for an option. King flicks it out the back to the halfback. Taff hunting a hole in the middle. And McInnes takes him down, ball and all. Burton, does he? Oh, again, it's end over end, and it's almost going backwards. Kennedy attacked it.
Well, that was the opposite to what Carraz did 5 minutes ago when the Sharks scored their try. Kennedy had eyes for the ball and just attacked it. And everyone just watched him leap above the pack.
And he leads the meter eaters, Will Kennedy. Ramian's managed to get to 152, touching it 3 times.
What? They're all coming out of trouble. He's had 1 run in their half. Touched the ball once in their half.
Look at McInnes. Hines kicking out to the other wing this time to Wilson. And they're giving it to Taff. Both of these wingers. Former Rabbitoh. First game since the round 9 win over the Tigers for him in first grade. Out of the line, Wilson flying to Carraz, able to get it to Crichton. Hasn't had a signature moment tonight. Stephen Crichton backing up from Origin duty. Kick out, taking on Hines. Good help from Ramian defensively that time.
That's better. Move the ball that way. Six more. Jeez, that was a cheap one.
That's 2 in a row on 5th tackle.
6 minutes to go. What can the Bulldogs do with this set restart? About to edge inside that red zone through Marnie. Already a try scorer tonight, but that was a long time ago when he scored the Bulldogs second. Haywood seeing plenty of it. Didn't have too many options. Sexton. Milton and McInnes, 2 of the best defenders for Cronulla. Haywood again, centre field, improvising, tackled without the footy there. And there's the tip up from the touchy, I think. And it's a 2-point ball game. You've got a gift shot at 2 here.
He's entitled to run
Golden point.
there.
I reckon if you look to the bench, everyone's got their fingers up.
Yep.
The thought of going to golden points got Joey's fingers up.
It's the right call. Toby Rudolph dragging back Hayward. Young man playing just his 10th game there. Hayward improvised well. They'll have the shot at goal in a moment.
Yeah, we got you, Matt. Penalties given before 5 minutes. Yeah. So there'll be time off after the kick though. Yep. It's got to be 10 metres, boys. Blake, just one more step for us, mate. Don't come forward from there, please.
So the shot at goal being lined up by Matt Burton. We'll have a level ball game here with 4 minutes to go. Toby Rudolph, who gave away that penalty, has been replaced. Left behind the posts.
I think he's been hooked.
And Burton levels things. So Burton with a gift too to make it 14 all here. Just under 4 minutes to go, and he's a field goal threat too.
I'm trying to think who's got the advantage for a field goal. So you got Burton, and then you got Nico.
Trindle as well.
Time your run.
We've got options. Hines has been the hero so often in his young career. Approaching 100 games, and he's kicked his fair share of one-pointers, including last time these teams met when it didn't count. Paul Gallen, what do you reckon?
Yeah, that's a big question, boys. Both teams have struggled to really attack well tonight. There's been plenty of tackles inside the Westpac red zone and only a few tries each, only 2 for the Dogs. So who has the advantage with the boot? You've probably got to think Matt Burton's got the biggest boot in the game, so we'll see what happens.
Is Gal just supporting the Dogs in? Is that what anyone else?
No, I'm not supporting the Dogs
Oh.
at all. Definitely not supporting the Dogs. The question was asked, who's got the advantage? I would say I think we Burton have the biggest boot in the game, and maybe them. But if the Sharks getting good field
Surely a
position,
torp here.
they'll get their job done.
Surely a torp with the game on the line.
Nope.
Nope.
Clearly under instructions. Maybe from the strength and conditioning staff, maybe from the coach, who knows?
Play on.
Complaints about a high shot by Kennedy, falling on deaf ears. Bulldogs had a couple of set restarts at handy times leading up to the penalty that levelled things. Cronulla could do with one now. Quick play the ball, earned by Katoa. Hines. Able to stand throughout.
Tackle 4. Time off. Got a streaker, mate. Tackle 4.
Got a streaker.
Where?
Geez, that's a game streaker on a night. It's 4 degrees out there at a core.
Didn't get to the
Okay,
cut and
time
thrust
on,
of it all.
tackle
Never
4.
saw him in the
Well, they wear
picture.
clothes now.
Security staff wrapped that one up in a hurry.
They're called runners, not streakers.
Last tackle, Max.
Hickow spun out of that tackle awkwardly.
Just relax. Oh, go last.
Slowing things down for Cronulla. Stop start into that set. So 2 minutes of the ball game remain. Maybe one set each. Will we see a shot at field goal here?
Tail up square. Front foot hold. Go one.
Crichton.
Blake, work out there. 2.
Well, I'll get in position at least for a 40-metre. A 2-point field goal.
Well, it's too big a risk for him because if you miss, you give away a 7-tackle restart.
There's only a minute 30 to go anyway.
Are you taking the odds to that? You want to have the shot?
I'm taking the odds. I'd go for a shot regardless.
And there's a shift coming here.
Burton's now moving into the central position. Will it get back to him for a shot? Burton's ready to wind up.
Here he goes.
From just inside halfway.
Here he goes.
Centre field, Burton.
He's got it.
It's smooth, but he's hooked it. And it's waved away by Jared Sutton. 7 tackles set, and there's enough time to utilise it.
7-tackle restart.
Do you remember his first game?
Trying to change the subject.
He missed 4 field goals, 4 or 5 field goals out at Campbelltown Stadium.
He also kicked a memorable one from a ridiculous angle here.
Well, there we go. Here comes tackle 1, and they're on their 30. Offload. This will get more metres.
Joey v. Freddie in the coach's box here.
Well, he should have kicked it. Gal was backing him.
Look at this.
Certainly was not. I thought it was the wrong option. I think the Sharks should get in position here for a shot.
And they've got multiple options. A try would be good enough as well. Great defence. Sherry wrapping up Kantoa. So they didn't gain much on that play, but there's still plenty of tackles in this set. A chance for a dramatic field goal to win it for Cronulla.
It's set up for Nico.
Trindle takes the shots.
That's a penalty
against the blocker.
Hang on. So there's a blocker that takes out one of the chasers. Now, Matt Burton will stand up. This is on around their 30.
It's Gorfusi. Okay.
With his boot, he can get this ball probably down to the opposition's maybe 30, definitely 40.
Oh, what about King? The way he ran at Gorfusi, who wasn't even in the equation, really.
He's been working at NIDA.
Mark's here, not there. Got to kick it there.
Now
Burton do it?
Burton's going to he'll try to get the ball down, maybe to Cronulla's, definitely their 40, maybe their 30, and
You
he'll
wouldn't think
stand
he'd
up.
want to go for the other side to make it an easier kick for himself.
Well, he's over the left-hand side.
Drop punt style.
And he's stuffed. He's stuffed. He's got it down to the 40.
And there's no time for a tackle to be made. You've got to go now. They fire it to Burton. Gets the shot away. Oh, how sweet from Burton.
He's got it! No! No!
Crowd was excited. Burton thought he nailed it as well, but we are bound for golden points.
Oh, Gal went up and everything. Gal was up off his seat
Oh
cheering.
my God. I'd done something, but it wasn't going up.
14-all. This is how close Burton came. It's starting to shake back, but not enough.
Well, he got into position very late. He wrote the script himself and forgot his part.
How easy did he strike those field
He
goals?
hits him so well. He kicks the ball so easy. Lefties. Something about lefties.
He thought he nailed it though, Joey.
When you're saying lefties, you're talking political people or footers?
Left footers.
Presidential debate day. We won't focus on that because we are bound for golden points and the field goal shootout most likely.
How do you think the debate went?
I've only seen the highlights or the lowlights.
They needed a couple of HIAs, let me tell you.
Let's listen in here as the captains gather with Jared Sutton. Paul Gallen, down to you.
Yeah, down on the field, both teams are huddled up at the moment, just doing their deep breathing and trying to get some oxygen back in the lungs. The two captains come together at the moment. Stephen Crichton and Cam McInnes. Stephen Crichton will toss the coin.
Heads it is.
Sharks have won the toss. They called heads, and they will receive and run the way they are running at the moment. I'm not sure why they went that way when the wind is a little bit behind the Dogs at the moment. But anyway, they've won the toss. They'll receive. They'll get first chance.
There's a moment there where a trainers went up behind Nico Hines and just grabbed him on the shoulder. And this moment's made for that man there, Nico Hines. It's been a disappointing couple of weeks. He's been in the headlines. And here he is, gets his chance one more time. They get first crack. The Dogs kick off. Let's see how he plays this 5 minutes.
He's kicked 6 field goals in his career. This man has kicked 3 and thought he nailed his 4th. As the siren sounded. We're right, Jared. We're always ready to go.
All right, time to run.
So Cronulla start with the footy in their hands. Off the back fence, the milestone man, Sifa Talakai. Terrific return to get out near that 20-metre line. Players are allowed to score a try to win in Golden Point, aren't they, Joe?
I'd rather golden try, but that's another time.
Mate, it's late, Joey. Let's not start that argument now, mate. All right? Here we go. Speed the ruck up. The Sharks will look to speed the ruck up. Get in position. If they can compete for this kick at the end, I'm not sure they'll get in position for a field goal. This will go to Braden Trindle, I'd say. Kick down in that corner once again. Mulatalo will need an effort here.
Carraz on that wing now. After the reshuffle, goes to Taff once more. Nice footwork to get around the initial tackler. So they start in a similar spot at the beginning of their set. And Burton can hit them a mile. You'd think he could almost have a shot from halfway. He hits them that well. Can they get there for him? Or would he have a shot from halfway when the 7-tackle restart looms large? Hughes want to take them up towards halfway. Ball comes loose. He's complaining about it being reefed out. Captain's challenge from the front rower.
Have they got a challenge? Yep.
Yes.
Well, that was the Stephen Crichton.
On tackle 4 coming in a 5. Bulldogs challenging the ruling of a loose carry against Sam Hughes.
He was adamant, Sam.
Remember, both teams have interchange as well. You get 2 interchanges in extra time. Well, he goes at the ball before the second.
Jack Williams is just getting bumped backwards and attempting to make a tackle. There's no stripping action. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Josh, there's a process. There's a challenge. So look at it and say nothing. Here we are here, boys. Hey, make sure we don't break
he's
early.
Had more impact for the Sharks over the last month than any other player. He'll be going to the bench early.
Boys, it's a full penalty if you go early. It's a full penalty if you go early.
There's the warning from Jared Sutton because they'll have a shot at goal if you go early and are offside from the scrum here. The Bulldogs need to maintain their discipline with Cronulla in scoring range. They go to the shorter side for Ramian. Now inside the 40 already. Trindle took the first shot. He's never kicked a field goal in the NRL.
He came from the left as well.
They're keeping it central. Trindle behind Hines as a second option, perhaps. Do they go now? Talakai.
Good run.
What a terrific run.
Good run.
The defence only back 3 metres, though. Is that a factor here? Hines, field goal number 7 is missed.
He's missed it.
No way. He's missed.
From point-blank range, he hooked it.
Hey, Cameron.
Oh, he had his moment.
You've got to get your blokes out from in front on the field goal.
He had his moment. They're talking about blockers.
Get out of there, mate. It's not worth it for you.
Oh, and he's hooked it.
And the warning for McInnes, where he was standing, you saw on that replay. I wonder when that affected Hines and his peripheral and affected that kick, his own teammate.
Advantage Dogs.
Paul Gallen.
Both teams in Golden Point get a captain challenge back, so that's why the Dogs were able to challenge that play. That play there, Sivatalaga got too close. You've got to have the tackle outside the 10-metre line, otherwise the defence would have to retreat enough.
Terrific run from King, second phase. Oh, Burton was directing traffic. Hayward gave it to his 5'8". And he did well. Another offload, so 2 offloads on this play. And Curran takes them down to the 40-metre line. 2 more plays. Almost forward to Taff. Can Burton get it this time? From a standing start, just chips it towards goal. Off the upright and over! Matt Burton for the Doggies in Golden Point. Win number 8 on the season. Is 2024 the year where they play finals again?
Matt Burton stands up. Is that his third attempt? Hits the post. He's such a sweet striker of the ball. Look at this, it's in the air. And it's fading, hits the post and in. Oh, down the other end, the Sharks missed a sitter. And then Burton, look at the reaction of the Dogs. This is a big win, huge win.
Full time in a remarkable game. The Bulldogs 15, Cronulla 14 in a golden point arm wrestle.